The GameCube generation. So many great games came out during this period that I just remember sinking my teeth into as a kid with like unlimited time. Pokemon Colosseum, Sonic Adventure 2, Super Smash Bros. Melee. The GameCube was actually my first own console, one which I didn't have to share with my older brother, which is actually kind of significant when you're a kid. I remember getting it on Christmas with Super Mario Sunshine in a big cardboard cube box. The entire console is kind of a nostalgia trip for me, to be honest. After owning the console for a while though, I recall looking for a new game. I only had like a tenner to spend, and I was looking through the pre-owned section of the game shop when I saw a game called Gotcha Force. Instantly, the visuals of the box art stuck out to me, along with the price tag of £7 of course. I flipped around to the back of the box, as you do, and was instantly sold. This game looks sick, and sick it was. I'd be pretty surprised if you've ever heard of Gotcha Force. When I bring it up to any of my friends, they don't have a clue what I'm talking about. Plus, there's a complete lack of content from what I can see of it on YouTube as well. I played this game a lot as a kid. Even with various gaps, I would still return back to it. I think this game is a serious hidden gem, and I hope that this nostalgia-fueled reminiscence will make you think similarly. Also, this shit absolutely slaps. Gotcha Force is basically the original gacha game. Even though technically the first Gashapon, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, was like 1965 in Japan, but I digress. It came out in 2003 and it was actually developed by Capcom. Quite a high profile company, all things considered. Strange to me that it didn't blow up a bit more with such a recognised developer. It's a mix between a fighting game and a third person shooter, where the characters you play as are robots/toys referred to as Gotchaborgs in the game. In the game, you play as a GF commander, destined to defend the Earth from evil Borgs known as Death Force. Looking back on this, the naming is kind of terrible, but maybe it's a translation issue, who knows. In terms of gameplay, you move around a grid-like map, challenging various groups of Death Force and enemies. You'll also fight other characters who are against you, but not necessarily sided with the Death Force. God, I hate that term. Along with this, you'll also decide your partner who will assist you in the battle, each character having their own unique Borgs and playstyle to help you out. You only start with like one character at the beginning, but you progress and you eventually unlock a wide cast of characters to choose from. There are at least 2 edgelord characters, just in case you're into that. One of the nice things about this system is a lot of the battles are optional. The game will indicate whether a battle is essential or not to progressing, so you can choose optional content if you want extra stuff. Aside from manoeuvring around the map, you'll also create your own arsenal of Gotchaborgs to use in battle. These are the robot toys I was mentioning earlier, and are the main aspect of Gotcha Force's gameplay. Each of these little guys have their own style, stats, and Borg clan? And even lore and shit is pretty sweet. There's also even multiple variants of the same Borg you can get by doing the optional content, and also playing on New Game Plus. Yeah, there's a New Game Plus. You start the game with one powerful Borg called G-Red, who's definitely one of the most fun characters to play as. He remains throughout the entirety of the game as one of the main characters, upgrading his stats throughout the story as well so he doesn't fall behind. To obtain more Borgs for your army, as far as I understand, after every stage you complete, there's a random chance of which Borg you'll get added to your collection. Eventually, you'll build up quite a significant collection, and will have many dupes, which is kind of the nature of the game. The problem, however, is you can't just slam them all into your army and off you go. Each Borg has a cost, and as a commander you also have a cost for how many Borgs you can handle in one army. During the game, your cost will increase, allowing you to handle more and more powerful Borgs at your disposal. As a kid, playing on a stage and just excitedly waiting to see what Borg was going to come out of the thing, that was pretty sick. if I remember correctly, some stages don't go away at certain points in the story, so you could just grind this stage over and over for components or whatever Borg you were looking for. Oh yeah, that's right, there's components. And if you're familiar with gacha games, that's like a hero fragment, which you would need to collect several of to obtain a rare character. One of the best parts of this game is that you can play as a dragon, different elemental dragons, and there's a space one, which you actually need all of the various parts of it to fuse. Okay, no, but really, the gameplay variety for each of these Borgs is extremely significant. In such a simple design, with only the X, Y, A and B button being used for attacks, there's still so much variety in the gameplay of each Borg. And not even just the gameplay, but variety in the design of these little guys. There's samurais, ninjas, dragons, nurses, tanks, Power Ranger fusion robots, evil versions of Power Ranger fusion robots, shiny variants. There's a lot for a collector such as myself to love about this game. I wish I could show my original save, because there's literal pages of Borgs that I'd collected after hundreds of hours of gameplay. Again, if you're familiar with how gacha games function, you will understand that they require a significant amount of grind to get what you want, and I think Gacha Force also shares this aspect. Whether this is deemed good or bad is another debate. Like I mentioned, you clear stages, collect Borgs, progress the story, get stronger, collect more Borg, complete the game, and then you can do the whole thing over again, but with different stuff happening in New Game Plus. I don't remember for sure, but New Game Plus and Gacha Force increased the chance of rare Borgs, depending on how many New Game Pluses you're on. I think it also changed a few other things, but it's been so long since I played a whole playthrough. The grind in this case is fun though. Collecting guys, fighting new enemies, the music, New Game Plus changing things up, etc. One of the biggest parts of this game that I feel has gone supremely under the radar is its multiplayer features. Yeah, this game has multiplayer. You can play with up to 4 players, and you can also load teams from your memory card, which is sick. Reminds me of importing my team from a GBA Pokemon game into Colosseum. You can set loads of features, stage, music, and even the cost for your team, so you can play against your friends with huge teams if you want. I think I only recall 1 or 2 times I ever played this game with a friend as a kid, and obviously they didn't have a damn clue what was going on. I would have loved to see if there was a decent competitive aspect to this game, but alas. Perhaps there's a hidden Gacha Force Discord community I've not found yet, with the doubles netplay league, the whole shebang, you know? This game to me feels like a hidden gem. The anime aesthetic is an endearing draw to Gacha Force's simple but varied gameplay. A wide cast of characters, not limited to just the human protagonists. Intense and catchy music that hits just right when you've been grinding for a while and need to keep pushing forward. Along with one of the strongest gameplay loops I've ever seen for such an under the radar title, with strong replayability, provided Gacha Force grasps your passion for collecting little dudes, as it did me. And that's all Gacha Force is at its heart to me. If you don't like the idea of progression via grind, you probably won't like it. One thing I should say though, is you give it a try. You might be surprised when you get hooked suddenly by Force. Thanks for watching, guys. Also, shoutouts to the main antagonist, the Galactic Emperor. Love that big spaceship guy.